Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington, USA. Today we're going to be working with the gnome set. We're actually using the paper and the dies today, not the stamps. And I'll show you what we're making in just a moment. But before we get started, let's take care of the housekeeping notes. In the description bar below, you will find all the products I used and all the dimensions for the project we're making. You will also find a link to my online store. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to assist you. Either place an order on my online store, or if you have questions, contact my email address, which is below. Also is a link to my Facebook group. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. And oh yes, remember to subscribe, like, and share, and help me out in YouTube world. So we are going to be using this beautiful paper from Storybook Gnomes. But before we get started, let me show you what we're making. I gotta move this. We're making this very large box. The overall dimensions of this box is 7.5 by 7.5, and it is 2 3/4 high. Now I made this with the retired Peaceful Dare paper, but I did use the Peaceful Dare stamp and dies or punch. And this is from Scalloped Contours, which are still available. So you could stamp your own DSP to make this box if you wanted just Peaceful Dares. This is not Stampin' Up! It's just some ribbon I had around and I thought it would look nice. Like I said, I use a lot of retired product when I am doing my mock-ups of projects. So we'll be reconstructing this box, but we're going to be using the gnomes. So we'll set that off to the side. And I don't always show you what's going in the box, but today I'm going to, because I like to make my own boxes and bags for Christmas. And sometimes I can't show you because the person that I know the package is going to always watches the show or not. And so I have to be very careful in that area. But this one I can show you. These are oven mitts. These are not large, these are small, medium, but they are the best oven mitts I've ever found. You can put a hot pan here and it will not burn you. It'll feel warm, but you won't get burned. Long sleeves and stuff. Not doing an ad for these, but if you are interested, they're by Temptation and you can get them on QVC. So with that being said, that's what we're making the box for. So we're going to be using 12 by 12 paper. I don't use a lot of 12 by 12 paper, but I find that I do use more 12 by 12 paper at Christmas time because I'm sometimes needing a bigger box or whatever. Also, I should tell you this box lid is reinforced, and we'll go through all the steps to do that. So what we need to do to make the box with the base is we need to score at 2 3/4 on all 4 sides. And we need to stay inside the track. Go slower. And like that. Yeah, I did get it inside the track. So that's that scored. We're going to go ahead and score. Excuse me. I've got a raspy throat today. And I don't know why, but I do. So when you're scoring the lid, you need to move the lid out about 1/16 of an inch. I didn't keep out a piece of paper. Here, I can show you with this. If you take 2 thicknesses of cardstock and you put them in here and butt this up to that is the distance it needs to come out. It is just a hair. So you can see this one here and this one. It is just, it's not even a full piece there. And after a while, you start learning what that dimension is, when you're scoring. But you can use 2 little pieces of paper to get you to that point until you get used to it. And we are going to score on this at 1 1/4 and 2 3/4. And we're going to do that on all 4 sides, moving out each of them that little teeny bit. I mean, it is just a hair. But it's enough that our box will close really nicely. always make sure your paper is in on your scoreboard. Now you can do this on a trimmer if you choose to, but I find scoring on 12 by 12 much easier to do on a scoreboard. So we have our 2 pieces scored. Now we're going to go ahead, I'll set one aside here, sort of, and we're going to go ahead and burnish all of these on both of them, and then we'll do all the cutting. Like I said, it's a nice big box. I know I kept on going round and round what color I was going to use for the base. Debating between Sarah Sand, which is the color of those deer roughly, or Balmy Blue. So we went with that one. So set that aside and we'll go ahead and score these. I also thought about using that. I thought it was pretty, but I like the deer. Okay, so I'm going to work from the back side because it is actually easier for me to see. Well, I'm going to show you from the back side. I'll probably cut from the other. But on the back side, I'm going to grab a pin here real quick. You have, I'm going to stay just inside the lines here. You have your score lines like that. The other one goes off that direction in here. Okay, what you're going to be getting rid of is these 3 here. And then we're going to be wedging into this one tab, and this becomes the tab. So you're going to do just, I'm just going to show you now this, but that's the corners you're going to be taking off. So I'm going to flip over here because I can actually see my lines better from this side. So whatever size paper or color paper you have, and whichever one you can see the clearest, work from that side. So we're cutting off this one here. Like I said, we're cutting the 2 outer ones off, and I'm going to make a very small little wedge on this piece here. We're going to cut this 3rd one off. Then on the tab, trying to keep this in camera, I'm sorry. We're going to wedge just ever so slightly. I mean, just a little bit, just enough to keep that clear. And then on this little one here, we're also going to wedge. So this is what we've got so far, is we've got this corner that looks like this, a little wedge and our little tab. And then when I marked, the only thing is left is those few lines on that, so you can see it. And then we're going to come across and do the same thing on this side. Little wedge there. Cut this one off. Cut that one. And then wedge this in. Now we look like this. And we want to repeat exactly the same thing on the other side. And this one. And that one. Now we've got one more to go. And after a while, if you've done enough of these, you just come in and make the wedge automatically on that one so that you don't have to do an extra cut. Make sure to fold your pages, your paper back so you don't accidentally cut the wrong thing. Okay, so that is all the little pieces to our box for our lid off. You can see these are off like this. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble this, and then we'll go ahead and work on the base. Now I'm using a combination of glue and tear and tape on this. On this flap here, on all four sides, I'm going to put on tear and tape. And I put one at the top and one at the bottom, close to the score line. Now, if you're going to do this part, I would recommend glue, tear and tape, or Seal Plus for putting a box together. I would not regular seal. It's just not strong enough to hold the box together for a long period of time. So we're going to use a little glue, and on these tabs, I'm going to put a little glue on this one. Now, if you feel brave, you could do multiple at one time. I don't feel that brave. I have a tendency to glue the wrong things down. So you want to make sure that you got a nice 90-degree angle here. We'll just hold that for just a second here. And we'll come around and do all the rest. It doesn't take a ton of glue because you're also going to have tape holding that down in a minute. A little bit of glue, and our last side goes up. Hold that quite long enough there. Okay, so then what you're going to want to do is I'm going to have to do this, trying to get an angle here. Where's my, pick your chip tool or whatever your pointy tool is of choice, and you're going to take off the tear and tape off one of these. I usually do the sides that have the two pieces here first, those two first. Fold that in and give that a good burnish. I'm trying to get this so you can see that I'm doing it from this angle. So that's also going to hold those glue spots in. And it also reinforces the box so it doesn't tear as easy as when people open the box. And sometimes these boxes will be used again and again under the tree. I have box stacks I've made for years, different kinds of boxes under our Christmas tree. They look so pretty, you know, before the Christmas day arrives, and you know, there's tons of packages under the tree. You got all these pretty boxes that you can look at. Of course, this one's actually for a gift, but it could end up eventually under somebody's tree. And these aren't holding anything down, they're just reinforcing. Sorry about that. Sorry, I don't know why I have a scratchy throat today. So that is our lid to our box. We turn them around so the bunnies and everybody's all pointing in the right direction. So let me grab some of this debris off my desk here. You guys can't see this debris pile, but I'm going to drag that other piece of 12 by 12 down, and I'm going to have a mess if I don't. Grab the old file bucket there. Yes, and you can tell my garbage can's metal by the noises it makes. Okay, so now I'm going to kick that off out of the way. Now this one we're going to cut on each of the corners straight down, and I try to make and go just to this side on the rectangle side of the score line, just so the score line is more on the square. And then I'm going to make a little diagonal notch there. And one there. Now when I'm making a square box, I tend to rotate my card on the bases. So we don't have all the weight on one side. They're evenly distributed around each of the corners. And I think it does help secure the box a little bit. Why am I put on something? But I mean, if it doesn't work that way, I've had some that haven't. But that's just what I usually do. So I think the box holds a better shape is what it happens. Sorry, I keep on getting out of the camera. I have a tendency to come closer to me when I'm cutting. And I forget that I'm on camera and I start whacking away. Okay. And I'm going to use glue on this. You could use tear and tape. It's whatever you choose to do. And we're going to go around, make sure we got nice 90-degree corners. We're just going to hold it for a second here so it kicks in. And I'm just putting glue on the tab so I can move it over. It's hard to keep in the camera when you're doing something inside the box. I get it at that angle a little bit. Okay, then what I like to do, you don't have to, but I like to go in here and burnish every place that I just put glue. It helps spread the glue out a little bit, I think, and just make sure you've got everything adhered properly. So, let's see how we did. The proof is in the pudding. It goes together. We have no buckling on the sides. The box is nice and reinforced. So, now it's time to decorate. My favorite part. So we are going to make us a gnome. And that's what I have a few pieces of paper for. And we are going to put the gnome on a snowflake. I'll hold that up so you can see the shimmer on that snowflake. This, actually, the first time I looked through the mini catalog, I overlooked it. And I don't even remember seeing it last year. It says a returning favorite. I didn't remember even seeing it last year. But anyhow, these are on page 45. It's the Wonderful Snowflakes. And they just have the sheet here and this little blurb right there. And then they do show a couple of them. But, I mean, it would be very easy to miss. So if this is something you might be interested in, you might want to go back. There's 24 snowflakes for $6. So we're going to use one of these to decorate our gnome. So I wanted to just point that out because I didn't get these on my first order because I didn't even see them. And I asked somebody else, I said, where'd you get those? She says, in the catalog. And I said, I didn't see them. And she says, it wasn't real obvious. So we'll point those out to everybody. So we're going to set him aside and we're going to make our parts to our gnome. So get the mini cut and emboss machine. There is dies to make a gnome without stamping. I'm going to grab my bowl here. So we have a hat, a beard, and shoes. So I figured we'd make us a gnome, and we're going to make him with a pink nose. And I grabbed my cutting plates here first. So first we're going to do a little brown. A little scrap of brown, doesn't take much. That's a little washi tape here I was using. Now I didn't make a tag for this box yet, but I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of tags later on this month, in this next few weeks. So then I'll put one of the tags on because I'm sure I'll be using the snowman and the gnomes to make tags at some point. And then his hat I'm going to make out of Pacific Point. These are not exactly colors in the paper, but I wanted him to stand out away from the paper. And the hat's awful cute. The cat's hat has got nice stitching around it. There's even little, on the boots, there's little marks for his shoelaces. And last, we're going to mix a white beard. We have an extra piece of blue that wants to go through the machine. Okay. There's the beard, and you can see all of the dimension in there. We're going to make him sparkle, though. All right. We'll get this out of our way. So we're going to build our little guy. So first we're going to mount, he doesn't have a body, he just has feet. His body's part of his feet. So we're just going to take and adhere a little glue on him. Right here. And put a pretty little beard on here, about like that. That works. And then there's actually, if you look at the cutout here, pull this up real quick, this is designed to fit right in that little spot. They've got it actually marked for you. So we'll put a little glue on each side of that. And we'll hold that like that. He looks a little blah, doesn't he? So we're going to grab some Wink of Stella. Now you can do this next part several ways. You could take and put, this is Blushing Bride. You could use the marker and put a little bit in on his thing and run it through with this. You could put it on a block and make a slurry with this. And I think that's the one I'm going to do. You could use this if you wanted, but I'm going to use the ink pad. And I'm just going to get just a tad of Blushing Bride. Not much. Give old Winky a shake there. You can see here It's getting sparkly and pink, and my blend brush is getting pinky. We're going to give him a little pink Stella nose. Just like that. Now it's the end of that one, and I'll just take a cloth and wipe that off. And I need something to clean this off on, and I don't have a spare piece of paper. Yes, I do. Reach in the garbage can. And then just take your Stella brush and make sure that you have no more pink ink on it. You can almost see it if there's no more pink. Mine's actually coming apart. There we go. I have no more pink, because then I'm going to take the wink, making sure to stay out of the pink area, and put Stella all over his beard. I'll hold him up so you can see him. So I think he's rather cute. Focus, camera. It's hard. Stella just does not show up great on the camera. So then we have our little snowflake here that we're going to actually mount him on this onto our package. But first we need some ribbon. So I grabbed, this is the Pool Party sheer ribbon. And got to get enough here. I'm going to wrap it around. And around. And back around. Man, I did leave enough. Now you can put this in the middle. I wanted my bow up in this corner here. Loop that underneath the other side there to help hold everybody in place for me. Oh, I'm trying to show you without putting the gloves in. That's not very smart. I'm going to get it all wrapped and have to take it apart. Excuse me. Let's fix the gloves. Actually, I will have to take it apart. I need to put tissue paper in here, and I didn't bring any. I'm out of tissue paper. Anyhow, my thought was I could fold the gloves this way, and they would fit in that box really nice. And I could put something else in the box too. But since I do have to take and redo this anyhow, we won't worry about that. But it holds really a lot. I was practicing with the other one, and I actually took my winter scarf and put it in there to see how it would work. And it would work in there great too. So, like I said, it does hold a lot. So let's try this again. Okay, I'm more towards the middle, but that's okay. Because what we can do is we can just walk the ribbon over. One piece underneath the other one. And then I'm going to make my big bow. And I always told you guys I like big bows. I like big streamers and big bows. But not quite that big. And I want to leave a little extra since I do have to take and open this up again. So anyhow, I've got the sparkly ribbon on there. And around down in this corner is what I want to do is I want to grab some glue dots. I decided to put glue dots on this. Just in the center because there's not much to glue onto. And remember, there is a sparkly side and a non-sparkly side on this. So when you look at it, you want it on the sparkly side. So I just wanted one glue dot to hold this in place here. And then when I want to take some dimensionals, pop the little guy up. And I'm going to grab one mini to put up in the top of his hat. That should do it. There's our little gnome tending all of his flock of wild animals. And there is our gnome gift box. So give it a try, have some fun, check out all the different papers and stuff you have and see what you'd like to make, and try making your own gift boxes. The tree looks quite beautiful with your own gift boxes with all kinds of paper. And I know if you're paper hoarders like me, you probably have old Christmas paper going back 10 years that probably could use some loving and needs to be shown off. So with that being said, I'm going to wish you a wonderful Friday and a happy weekend, and I will see you next week. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.